Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Harmon Homestead. We're going to pick some tomatoes this morning. It's 6 a.m. I'm out here at the raised beds, and you see the tiller back there. Got some stuff going on. I mainly want to show you our tomato fungus treatment and the results, so check it out. All right, so I'm going to start right here. These are our 2 red cherry tomatoes. They're loaded down. If you can see how they're pruned, we've got some ripe tomatoes we're picking every day. Look at that. Now, these have been covered in blight fungus. See all those spots? I've pruned these. I want you to see. Look at this. They're blooming everywhere. Looks good. Looks really good. And we've got little tomatoes. So when they say that these won't set fruit in 90-something degree weather, we've debunked that, guys. We've debunked it. Look at there. See that? Those leaves look pretty healthy to me up here. And I wish I could show you how tall it is, but this is a foot over my head, and I'm 5'5". And that's leaning on all of this chicken wire and fence. So straightened out, I don't know how tall it is. So there's some plants with tomato blight. All of my plants now have tomato blight. Let's move on to this one. Got a little spot right there, but we've got blooms, we've got green growth, and then you get down here. Just as a side note, look at the mammoth sunflower back here. Guys, I don't know how tall this is anymore. Can you see? At the very back there, all of my other sunflowers have bloomed and they've fell over. They're dying. They've went through their life cycle, but that mammoth has not even formed a head yet. I don't know how this is going to look or how tall it's going to be, but I'm going to say he's near 13 foot. Crazy. All right, we're back at the red cherry tomato. So you got blight everywhere. We've pruned. Then you get up here. I mean, look here. The temp today is going to be 96 degrees. Okay, y'all. So, these cattle panel tomatoes, look at this. There's blight everywhere down here. I've not pruned the side. I've only pruned the back. But look at the tops. I mean, look at this. And so the problem is with the cattle panel, we're to the point that there's nothing else to stake. The only other thing that I know to do here is when this starts bending out like that, take it and go this way and tie it horizontally along the top of the cattle panel. Look at this. I don't know what else to do. And do you see the little tomato here? So, first of all, there's tomatoes everywhere, okay? Let's get this established. Blooms everywhere. I can't even reach that. And I'm 5'5". So this is the thing. First of all, we've debunked this. Tomato plants will set fruit in extreme heat. Maybe not as productive as if it was 70 degrees or 80 degrees, but they will set fruit, okay? I've got tomatoes loaded everywhere. For any kind of blight, I've not pruned this side. I've got to today. What I am doing, I am fertilizing, I am watering, I am pruning, I am spraying with copper. Now, I haven't sprayed these plants in 3 weeks, and I've only sprayed them twice. Now, my worst plants I sprayed with Daconil. Look up in the ingredients of all this, see if you want to use it. But guys, it works, okay, whatever we're doing. And last but not least, harvest off of these plants. I think that has helped continuously picking off these plants, because essentially your plant wants to go through its cycle. It wants to be able to reseed itself in the ground. That's why plants, they grow, they bloom, they die, and then you'll have volunteers the next year if you leave it be. That's what the plant wants to do, okay? Reproduce. So the more fruit that I pull off of here and yank off, especially green, well, it's still wanting to go and go and go and go, because it's not doing what it was designed to do. I keep halting that so it will keep growing and making more fruit, okay? I would rather have, you know, 55 green tomatoes off 2 plants than one beautiful red tomato that was blight stricken. I mean, that's it. But look, don't think there's no red tomatoes, because guys, we've been harvesting every day. I mean, every day, over and over and over. And it's to the point, y'all, like I said, I am so overloaded with tomatoes, I don't know what to do. We're canning tomatoes with okra. We're doing salsa of every kind. And guess what? I'm fixing to pick green tomatoes. Canned green tomatoes, salsa verde. I mean, all of this stuff. Eating fresh red tomatoes. But guys, tomato fungus treatment. Fertilize, prune, spray it, water these plants, okay? Get that nourishment going and harvest. It will work. Now, let me show you what we're doing in the center of this garden. You see the tiller here? And look, there's my field peas. Y'all, they were doing great. You can see here. I mean, they look fantastic. But I said I'm going to pull them up. I'm going to pull them up. My husband plowed the other ones under last night. He tilled them under. We ran out of gas. We're going to have to finish it up tonight. But I believe I'm going to plant squash, because really, I want the most harvest for this area. I can do squash, I can do bush beans, or I may try this. I ordered some seeds from M.I. Gardener. It was Indian corn. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that, but I would love to try Indian corn through here and have it for Thanksgiving. You know, beautiful decoration, have it dry, make cornmeal out of it. I may try to do that. If I get the seeds in the mail today or tomorrow, I will probably try to do that. If not, then it'll just have to wait till next year. I've never grown dent corn like that before. I would really like to try just in a small area that's well controlled. That way I can get them on up quick, those plants. So, but look at this. Look at this topsoil, how it's been amended. Every fall, we let the chickens run through this garden. I put leaves in this garden. Last year, I gambled on this. I put hay in here, just old rotting hay. We were going to have a hay ride at Halloween, and it was sitting in the shop for 2 years. It was no good. The plans fell through, and I took it and put it in here. Now, we knew who grew the hay, and we knew what was put on it, but you have to be careful with stuff like that because of pesticides and things where the hay won't grow, any kind of chemical. It may hurt your garden, but we knew it was okay. Guys, that rotting hay has helped this garden tremendously. But just look at the color tilled up. And this was just red clay topsoil. I mean, it's come a long way in 3 years. It really has. So anyways, I don't know if I'm going to plant the Indian corn here or the squash and zucchini. But the Indian corn will be just a try, because I want to. Squash and zucchini, fill up that freezer. My zucchini did not do that well this year. Squash, I think we ate fresh, and then we had over 20 quart bags in the freezer, just chock full of frozen squash. So, whew, these chickens, y'all. Peppers here, look at that. Cadillacing in this heat. Okra as well. Now, let me show you the okra on the flip side right here. I need to go through here and thin this okra out, but look at that. It's pushing a foot tall already. I have got to thin this out. But there's everything back there. Our Christmas pole lima beans. Let me show you guys. These are gorgeous. We got our first harvest this weekend. And see the blight. See all that. And all these red tomatoes on the ground, let me tell you. I told y'all in a couple videos ago that I've got chipmunks, ground squirrels, whatever you want to call them. Well, they're in my garden and they're crawling up the tomato cages and the cattle panel. They're getting these tomatoes and they're eating them and leaving them right there. Like, that is so frustrating. So frustrating. Our Homestead cat has now probably turned into 2 cats, and they should be here this weekend. So we just gotta go get them. All right, Christmas pole lima beans, y'all. These are the best beans I have ever had in my life. If you've never grown these, let me see if I can find one ready. First of all, they're still blooming with 90-degree heat. This is not like rattlesnake pole beans where it's one and done. These are just continuously going, okay? So we've got a pest of some kind. So let's see if I can find one. Not be fair. Look, there's more tomatoes. Y'all, you need to take into consideration what advice you're getting on the internet, because I thought, well, tomatoes are just done. If it's 90 degrees, they're not going to produce. Well, that's not true. That is not true necessarily. Okay, here's one, I think. He's fair. All right. Now, he's not even started to turn, but those are good sized beans. But they've got like a really pink color to them the older that they get. But look at this. I mean, just gorgeous. I need to pick these again today, so. But guys, these are amazing. And in fact, I don't know, next year, both cattle panels may be on both sides full of these Christmas pole lima beans, because A, they're durable in the heat, B, they keep going, C, they're a great harvest. It's a big bean. I've tried to grow Ford Hook lima beans before, and I have not had good success at all. The little green bean, you can't tell when it's ready. It's more of a hassle than anything. So these are my new favorites, okay? There's more peppers down here. That's where we had the squash. All through there. Look at the soil. Good stuff, guys. Okay, cucumbers and pole beans. Rattlesnake pole beans, we've picked maybe 5 times off of them, and you can see they're starting to die back. So that's that. Okay, potting mixed bed. Well, first of all, let me show you the tomatoes over here. These are the ones that I sprayed with Daconil. Look, there's the red cherry tomato I was telling you about. I mean, see this? It just keeps going, 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 going. I can't even get him in the camera. Okay, this plant right here, I would have said he's done. Look. Harvest, prune, get that disease stuff off, fertilize, water, guys. Now there's the blight, okay? So we're not, we're not getting rid of this. All we're doing is outgrowing this. It's gonna stay on your plant. There's no question about that. I mean, look. I was for sure they were gone. Now the worst one down here, every one of them's got new green growth. I'm showing you the results. That's our biggest plant, and I said, he's gone. He's gone. But look over here. Look at that green growth. Look over here. Look at that green growth. Not a sign of blight anywhere on him. Now you can see, yeah, blight. Look at the stems. Now this one is a determinate. I just let him go. I didn't like the taste of the tomatoes anyways. I said, I'm done. And sure enough, this poor thing is still trying. For a determinate, that's something else, guys. Everything I've planted through here, they are indeterminate tomatoes. That's the only way that this is gonna work, because they will keep going. Look at all this. Do you see that? I mean, and I've got to get in here and weed. We're doing the best we can with this heat, y'all. But look at this side, and I was for sure those were gone too, to be honest. But, I mean, oh, y'all. So, it works. It works, it works, it works. Indeterminate tomatoes. Fertilize, prune, harvest, water, and spray. You're still going to have blight. There's no question about that. But you can outgrow it. Look at this. This is more of a jungle than it was when I showed you on the last video. So we've debunked this about the blooms and setting fruit. We've debunked that, okay? I'm showing you live results. Today's going to be 96 where I'm at in central Alabama. It has not been below 90 for 2 weeks, okay? We've debunked that. We have shown you that you can extend the life cycle of a tomato plant covered in fungus. This is not a cure. This is a treatment, and it works. Y'all, on the internet, it's going to tell you, pull these plants up now. This is fatal. Y'all, there's one last thing that I have done that I really think has helped. Beside all of these plants, I have about a 4 to 5 inch stake of copper pipe. I don't know if the copper is slowly leaching into the soil. I don't know. Copper is an antifungal. The ones that have done the worst and not rebounded after all this treatment are the ones I did not put copper beside. So my biggest plants are the ones with copper beside. I don't know if this is electroculture. I don't know if what it is, but what I've done, like even on the cattle panel, the worst plants, they're the same varieties that over here are Cadillacing, but I didn't put copper beside those. So, and then maybe 5-6 feet away, I would put the same variety with copper, and it's twice the size as the other plant. So my husband talked to someone, and he said that what they do with all of these plants, when they plant them, they pre-treat with copper. What they do is a baby tomato transplant, they'll spray with copper spray when they put it in the ground. Now, again, the internet says, get it up, it's fatal, immediately. Get this up, it will kill your plant. The only harm that I can see with what we're doing is if leaving this here in our garden increases the level of fungus in the soil. I don't know. That's a possibility in my mind, okay? So, there's multiple articles that say this is spread by wind up to 50 miles, okay? So, even if I didn't have one piece of fungus in this garden, someone a county away, their tomato plant could spread it to mine, and I'm going to put that link here. So, if it's that contagious to these plants, guys, it's so humid here you can't even breathe. It looks like I'm in just pure fog right now. It's so humid in the south. People know this. With the heat and all, these plants are going to get some kind of disease on them. That's just, there's no question about that. But my theory, I'm wondering if we can pull this plant back from the depths of I don't know what, would it be beneficial if we spray the ground with copper around the plant? I don't know. That's why I want to know, is this in the cells of the plant, or is this by contact only? I don't know. I don't know. But guys, go back and look at my last videos. I'm documenting the results because this is new to us too. I promise you, last year I grew Baker Creek's tomatoes. They were all heirloom, and I didn't have time to come out here and do all this to these plants. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what kind of disease it was on these plants, and they all died. And when I say died, they were gone within 3 weeks. It was over. We didn't even have a tomato in July. Like, it was horrible, not from this garden. So we've found something here. We just got to keep after it. So let me show you in the potting mix bed how those are doing and the rest of what we got. So here are these tomatoes. This, I believe, is a big boy. Look at all this. And really, these on this side, I have just neglected. I pruned maybe 3 weeks ago. Okay, so the plant looks dead, and then you get over here and look. Look at this. You've got to outrun it. That's what it boils down to. You've got to outrun this. And guys, I really think picking all these green tomatoes have helped. Look at this one. I was for sure they were gone. Look at this. Now, I planted okra. I showed you that. He's taken over the okra. I planted this okra a little bit further behind in the regular bed. Now, these plants. Okay, that's my big boy. He's the one I put the copper penny beside in the soil. Green growth everywhere. Had blight all down through here. Been harvesting. Need to get a bunch of green tomatoes off him. And then, I can't even get this in the camera. Look way over here. There's the border of the bed. Look at this. Look at this one, okay? This one, I was for sure he was a goner. You come up here, you see some blight, disease, then you get through here, look at there. Guys, I'm trying to help y'all get a harvest because I know how disappointing this is when you grow this stuff and spend time with it and then it just collapses and dies. I understand, I get it, I get it. I'm gonna tell you something else. These that I have pruned just like a tree and left nothing but top foliage, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. But that is labor intensive, y'all. You're having to be out here every day, pruning, especially if you're fertilizing like that. Look at this. Let me see if I can pan out. Look, crazy. So when they say good airflow, I mean, look, you cannot get any more better airflow than that right there at all. And then I'm just letting the tops bush out. So by the time the tops catch the blight, I'll start pruning those. The only problem is, y'all, these are so big, I don't know what I'm going to do. At least with the cages, like, they just collapse on each other. So like one over here will grow over here. They'll just kind of intertwine. But let me pan back out. See, it's nothing. And then just bushes at the top, just like a tree. He is an early girl. Okay, he looks rough right there, but see all the growth? Looks really rough. But that's not the plant, y'all. That's not a plant. There's the top way over here. 2 cages down. Look at that. That's the only good thing. These have been able to support each other. Now these are rough up here. I mean, they're rough looking. See all that blight? But then, here you go. Here you go. There you go. Again, good green growth. I have got to prune these. I've got to. I pruned these last week. So it's an every couple of day thing. And I've not sprayed these again in 3 weeks. So there's our peppers over here, our okra. Now, if you look back through our videos, I had bush beans, contender bush beans over here. We're going to plant okra. My goal, if you can see at the very bottom back here, I planted rattlesnake pole beans to go up these sunflowers or the back of that fence. Look at that mammoth. That's going to be mammoth from Baker Creek. I had a bunch of Baker Creek seeds of sunflowers. I threw them out. I don't even know, y'all. I've never. I just hope he's leaning. He's leaning at this point, so I hope he will bloom. Now let me show you what my little ground squirrel's doing. I saw him up on this fence this morning. Ooh. But look, that's another one. I said, y'all, this plant's gone. This plant's gone. Y'all was gonna see it in real time. Look. I said he's gone, but obviously not. Obviously not. So please, y'all, try to bend the rules. Again, bend the rules. Try it. See if you can get it to grow. Because I mean, what are you hurting? Your time? If you're serious about growing food, or you just have one plant and you want to see it do well, try it. I promise you, this has worked for us. So y'all, fertilize, harvest, prune, spray. I'm telling you, that's, I mean, look. Be very judicial with what information you're reading online and take it as a recommendation. Just like, look, that's just what is happening well for them. That doesn't mean it's the all-be-all rule that you have to do it, like pulling up those plants. You don't have to. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but it may work. There's no harm in it if it's going to take your plants out anyways. You might as well try. I mean, come on. If you're eating up with blight, like that plant over there, see him? I mean, that determinate. But it's got to be indeterminate tomatoes to do what I'm doing to it, okay? Because you can fertilize a determinate all day, and it's not going to get, like these are, y'all, those are, look at that. I don't know if we have this kind of success next year. I don't know what we're going to do. I know a lot of people row cropping and commercially doing tomatoes will have them just like this, like trees, or just like that. I mean, just trees, where it's just a bush at the top, and then it's just completely wiped out at the bottom. So as far as pruned, but y'all, that is labor intensive. This Alabama heat and humidity, it will grow, you know, 1/2 foot a day. So I'm guessing on that. I mean, it grows insane. So you've got to stay out here doing this, okay? It's bad on me because I've got almost 50 plants up here in a 20 by 30 and a 10 by 20. So raised bed. So that's the hard part here. But if you've only got a couple plants, you can definitely manage this, okay? Try it and see. All right, guys, we're going to get out here. We're going to start picking beans, picking pole beans, cucumbers, green tomatoes. Pick, 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 pick. You want to keep that plant thinking he's got to keep going, okay? Got to. All right. Tomato fungus treatment. We'll see you next time on Harmon Homestead.